Hello Taurus, a very warm welcome to my beautiful Taurians for your July read. Those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium as well as I cover the astrology and twin flame path, which I will be having a karmic read mid-month. If you do know the zodiac sign of a karmic, if you want to check in with a friend or someone that's not coping with the astrology and maybe, in a more toxic position and you're wondering how they're dealing with the adverse energies, feel free to go and have a look at the video. Just disregard the romance section of it. I have pulled the romance read for you and a ruin, which I'm going to directly tune into. Now, for you guys this month, we're going to be having Neptune going retrograde in Pisces, which does hit your 11th house. And it's really all your hopes and dreams. And, Neptune is very, it can be delusion orientated, but it is something based on a reality. Many subjects can come up with Neptune retrograde. It is very much 12th house at a collective level. So it's our psychology surrounding dreams. Is it based on a reality? What would we need to do to achieve them? Lower frequency situations can come up, as well as around eclipses and Neptune retrograde. You can get pretty interesting weather. So that's one thing to think about through this transit. I do feel it's unique because we're having Venus going direct in Gemini, obviously. This does hit your second house. Now, your second house is where you gain your self-esteem from, as well as, your professional resources, your land, but everything outside of that is where you gain your direct self-esteem from. It is making an interesting conversational piece towards the end of the month when Mercury does go direct. On the 27th. So it is squaring Neptune. So when it does come to your hopes and dreams, your aspirations, what you feel you need to be on mission with, be it with a person, place, or thing, you're going to be really having to look at some hard truths inside that energy of what you'd need to change, and do you have the self-esteem to be able to directly deal with it. But it can be a challenging day, maybe either side, but at the same time I do feel you're going to grow through that spiritual process and see something very different. Now, at the beginning of the month, we're having Saturn going direct out of Aquarius and into Capricorn again, and it's going to stay there pretty much to the end of the year. We're also having Chiron retrograde in Aries. So that's very much Mars-orientated energy. And again, it is the 12th house, which can be your psychology, your mindset, your belief systems, you trying to understand everything. We do connect it sometimes with the house of imprisonment. It can be linked into, enemies, secrets, hidden resources, responsibilities. Are we in alignment? Aren't we? But I do feel through that regression process of it, you can find beautiful tools inside of that frequency. But Mars will be there very much for you emotionally, mentally, getting into mental alignment. But also when it does come down to the wounds, you might want to really plow in and get them sorted. But I'm feeling it to be a positive transit, actually. Others may not see it that way. I do, because it's very first house placement in the astrology wheel. So you're able to actually have the power within your own grasp. If you feel you're not coping with certain things, it is advised to go and obviously seek help. But, at a spiritual process, it does help us actually see maybe other people's perspectives and really want to rein in certain energies where we feel we're out of alignment, to get our power back and to move our ship forward. We're also going to have the eclipse in Capricorn this month on the 5th. And with that, it is going to be hitting your 9th house. So, down to anything to do with movement and home, because we've had the access of the Cancer Capricorn nodes that have been there for 2.5 years. This is the month where we're really, really tying that energy out. So it can be quite energetic with the retrogrades and the direct. And there's still, for much of the month, we'll be holding that third house placement of your travel, your communication, anything to do with technology can come up for you because it is third house placement. But, Mercury in Cancer is about you really learning to articulate your needs, your feelings, and what you do want. There may have been wounds in the past due to maybe feeling a little bit judged, or that people wouldn't understand what your needs are. that may have been difficult through that transit, but it's really pushing you into the energy of transforming that so that you're able to communicate effectively and learn different ways of expressing yourself. You will find also with Venus going direct, maybe you might get spurs of energy, which many of us may have had well and truly before Venus direct, that you want to change the way you look. You know, and when we check into astrology and we're more aware of it, I do tend to avoid any outlandish kind of changes around that time until Venus is direct. More so from a perspective that we can have a bit of bias remorse, similar to Mercury retrograde. So this would be the better time moving forward through the month to do that. But again, with Mercury being retrograde in Cancer, better to delay to the end of the month, but more for the cosmetic aspect of things. But for the hair and things like that, you know, it's open to that frequency. Now with this ruin that I have for you for this month, it is in the upright position, and I was like, okay, it's fire and earth, but it's very Venus. So I was really guided to look at your chart and see what majorly was coming up, and I pulled the crowning energy. We're going to be looking at your money, your career, your tribe, and your family, the eclipse energy, the new moon, which is a blue moon, and then your romance sector. So if you want to timestamp it and move straight through to that and you don't want to look at the surrounding energies, that's fine, feel free. Now with this ruin, it does link in, and I did put a card in here, and it is saying the same thing as what the ruin's saying, Venus, love. So this links into fire and earth, Venus, and pine. And when we think of pine, it's the pineal gland. It's your crown chakra being activated. Now, in the upright, which it is, ascentrically, it is linked to spiritual illumination and inner guidance. Very 12th house. Skill, controlled energy, successful ideas, and attraction. I have to be careful about what words I use on YouTube, so it's let me just put it up there. You can read it. Where is it? Well, we just won't say it out loud. We'll just, don't know if you can see it. Anywho, let's move along. I really feel you guys are moving out of the darkness and into the light, and you're seeing something from a very different perspective. Now, let's get into the read. Your crystal you have is malachite, and this is for the entire month. Which any green energy, always in a chakra system, relates to heart chakra, passion, love, Venus. Yes, the pink energy does as well, but green definitely in a chakra-based energy. So when I'm saying this, it's really saying it 3 times. You've got your romance energy, you've got the ruin that's linking in with that. You're getting the psychic downloads as to, you know, where that alignment is and what you're moving towards. There can be some, you know, obvious triggers coming through in certain areas, but try and trust the process because I feel it's taking you to higher ground. I recognize receptive patterns and choose love, compassion, and kindness. And I feel you guys are really gaining clarity. And there are a few cryptic psychic messages I will channel to you very separately. Create healthy patterns in relationships. I hadn't even read the back of the card, and this is really what it's coming down to. Connect with the sweetness of life. Maintain heart-centered awareness. Get to the heart of the matter. I do feel you know where you want to be. There can be some obstacles in your way that maybe you're needing to address and own. And it doesn't even have to be on your side of the fence. It's just this super acute awareness of who it is you love and what you do and don't like. And it's just moving into that frequency. In the past position, there may have been things that really caused you to second guess yourself and doubt. Maybe not feeling that something could get off the ground, and that's really what I'm feeling. Maybe looking at the surrounding energies involved with connections, workplaces, love interests, and maybe feeling there were direct obstacles there. So I'm feeling heart-centered, more needing to protect your heart due to maybe an observation of a situation. Where you're moving into is very much the Leo energy of self-worth energy, strength. The eclipses have that aspect of the Leo attribute coming through. And for you guys, it's it's fourth house placement. And very largely, some of you may be making decisions based on where you want to be in accommodation or directly in life. But I do feel for some of you, you are going to be really looking at, okay, is this accommodation suitable for me? Does this resonate with me? Do I need to change anything? And really anything you're pushing your energy to, I feel with the sun energy that is boding extremely well, providing you're able to step out of your way and you're able to use the tools you have at your hand. Now, Juno is in your 6th house of Libra, pretty much towards October, I believe. So between now and October, really paying attention to what you need to balance. Your vibration can be affected by other situations around you. Eating consciously to actually gain the most amount of fuel to cope with frequencies around you. But I feel a change up of diet and a change up, especially with Venus direct, of your self-esteem, is you could be working on that to actually change your image and things to that degree. Getting a phone call coming through, and I need to decline because I need to finish this and then I'll call back. Okay, future tense. Yeah, a lot of opportunities coming, and I do feel you may be a little bit more open or maybe even surprised, because I do feel somebody coming to you in a sense of a peace offering or wanting to be more prepared for you, but I think you are as well. But you're selecting whatever that is that you're investing in with a very open mind and knowing that that's what you want. And I feel you're more prepared to do that with the heart-centered energy. There may be some tying up of loose ends that need to be achieved for this with Venus direct. And with that axis we were having with Pluto and Jupiter moving through last month at the end, I think it's really pushing you forward to make some very critical decisions. Financially speaking, you guys had to change some things up. There might have been some bills and expenses that come at left field that you weren't really expecting, but I do feel you're able to avert disaster during this month, providing you're looking at the bigger picture goal and what you're wanting to put your money towards. If you're saving and having to allocate, I am feeling with Venus direct, you're going to be more controlled in what you do spend your money on. Let me look. I need to double check. I just want to be sure for you guys. Interesting conversational piece there. Yeah, be really assertive when it comes to, you know, you might have in the past really invested in people, places and things that, you know, weren't working with you. This transit for the next 2.5 years and from this point moving forward is really helping you see who's with you and who's not. And it's really team orientation energy and tribe orientation energy. Your career sector, you might be getting a hunch as to, okay, is this for me? And I do feel a change frequency coming. If you're getting hunches relating to it of something that's not feeling quite right, really trust your intuition with that, because I do feel you guys are really underestimating yourself. You're very creative like a Virgo. If you can see something that's missing and is not meshing, do address it head on. But I feel it's more a meditation during Cancer retrograde in Mercury, really assessing it. So there can be some frustrations there. Trust your intuition when it comes to disillusioned energy. I do feel there can be somebody accidentally calling themselves out and maybe trying to shift blame if you are in employment. So just be cautious to that and trust your instincts. Make sure you do your paperwork. I don't know how that lands, but it's like, make sure you finalize your paperwork. And if you, yeah, just keep paperwork. That's all I'm hearing. Tribe. There could be another opportunity that comes through a group. Some of you, if you're working in a group energy, maybe even if it is over Skype or Messenger, or you directly are in an environment, even if you are not employed, I do feel a job can come through a social connection. Some of you also might be returning to a social connection / boss, and you might be actually partnering with them. This could also be future tense, working with a love interest for some of you. Now, also with your family, there's a situation that it feels like you've done a whole 360. If things aren't balancing, it's almost like if you're hearing this repeating story or your direct location, because fourth house is very much home and the Cancer energy does link in with it. You may be communicating about this and saying, look, I'm really ready to venture out through new horizons and wanting to have something different. It can be even a conversational piece with whoever's in the home with you as to some changes coming in some shape or form. You're not quite sure what that's going to be, but you're feeling the vibration and you're guided to trust that instinct. Now, during the eclipse in Capricorn, which is a lunar eclipse, it's going to be on the 5th, there can be, again, upheaval. Now, Capricorn lands in your 9th house of foreign countries and travel. It is balanced by the 3rd house, which is communication, Mercury, home. I'm going to pull a clarify, but I'm telling you, I'm feeling something to do with home. Now, whatever this is, this could be due to romance coming in or a changing of circumstances. Trust the process, but I feel it's kind of come in abruptly. It feels good. I'm not feeling bad. I'm just feeling now that is so. That's what's coming through. Okay, we need to change some things. Moving from one family to another or one group to another. Something to do with the home though. And a delay, and being truthful about a situation. It's not negative, it's positive. It's just, okay, something's not working. This is going to come through in left field. And you could actually be going to see someone to make peace, and it could even be them coming to see you. But it does feel due to that, there's a shake-up and a change. Now, what this blue moon energy coming through, I knew this would happen. And everyone's trying to call me now. Trouble in paradise. Okay, there is going to be some conflict during the new moon, but this could be the thing that changes it, and it is a secondary opportunity. I'm telling you, something changing. You're like, if this home environment isn't working, even in a previous connection, or it just feels there's movement on the home front. That's what I'm feeling. Past tense, there was a lot to work through. Where you are, you're like, okay, do I invest and trust this? They know that maybe they were shifty in the past. You're looking forward like, is this going to be the same forever? You feel torn between two energies, torn between where do I be? You might have felt guilty of some of the things that happened that, it was out of your control, I'm feeling, but this is a movement of home. This is a movement into a connection. You do know that how this is going to go, so do trust your instincts. In the past, there was a lot of jealous people around this person, and they have left them out in the cold. They know that, again, they know that there was a lot of manipulation. They do know how you're looking at them. They are not stupid. They're willing to join. I'm not feeling bad about this. I'm feeling be open here, the perspective. I feel there's some conversations to be had. There's external energies at play, and you're like, okay, but X, Y, and Z has happened, and then X, Y, and Z has happened. Is it going to happen again? And I feel no. Hear them out, because overall I feel this to be positive. Hear them out. Okay, love and light.